Welcome, dear students. Today our topic of deliberation is major contributions of Bessey and Cronquist to plant systematics. The objectives of today's deliberation are: number first, to discuss the contribution of Charles Bessey. Number second, to highlight the Bessey's contribution in developing the phylogenetic system of classification. Number third, to describe Bessey's system of classification in detail. Number fourth, to discuss the contribution of Arthur Cronquist. Number fifth, to discuss the development of Cronquist's system of classification. Number six, to describe in detail Cronquist's system of classification. So first and foremost, let's have a general introduction about our topic of deliberation. Systematics aims at developing classifications based on different criteria, and often a distinct methodology is employed for the analysis of data, which in turn gives rise to different systems of classification. Classification is the arrangement of organisms into groups on the basis of similarities. These groups are in turn assembled into more inclusive groups until all organisms have been assembled into the single most inclusive group. Broadly speaking, there are three main classification systems. Number first, artificial classification. This system of classification is based on arbitrary, easily observable characters such as habit, color, number, form, or other similar features. These classifications remain dominant from 300 BC up to about 1830. The earliest system of artificial classification was proposed by Theophrastus, who classified plants as herbs, undershrubs, shrubs, and trees on the basis of habit. Number second, natural classification. This system of classification is based on natural affinities or overall similarities. These systems started with Adamson and culminated with Bentham and Hooker. Natural systems of 18th and 19th centuries used morphology as criteria for overall similarity. Some important natural systems of classification were proposed by Michael Adamson, A.L. de Jussieu, A.P. de Candolle, and Bentham and Hooker. Number third, phylogenetic classification. As a result of the emergence of the theory of evolution, therefore taxonomists began to look at their finished classifications in a different light. Workers began to emphasize relationships by descent of the groups in their systems, and these relationships were often illustrated diagrammatically by phyletic or phylogenetic trees. Towards the development of this system of classification that the two American plant taxonomists Charles Edwin Bessey and Arthur John Cronquist made lifelong contributions. We have briefly discussed the different systems of classification. Now let's go through our first objective, that is, to discuss the contribution of Charles Bessey. Charles Edwin Bessey was a late 19th and early 20th century American botanist who developed a modern classification system for flowering plants. Born in Ohio in 1845, the son of a school teacher, Bessey was educated at home and in small rural schools. He was able to attend the Michigan Agricultural College, where he was introduced to botany. After graduation, he helped to initiate the botany program at the Iowa Agricultural College and began teaching students. Bessey held several positions at the Iowa Agricultural College, the present-day Iowa State University, including instructor of botany and horticulture, professor of botany and entomology, vice president of college, and acting president of the college. He guided the Department of Botany during its formative years and created the first undergraduate botanical laboratory in the United States. Bessey also established Iowa State University Herbarium, which was named the Ada Hayden Herbarium. In 1872, Bessey worked at the Harvard in the laboratory of famous American botanist Asa Gray and became more interested in the microscopic characteristics of plants. His examinations of cell structure and organization led to the publication of several papers on plant diseases. He further contributed to American botany education by writing an American version of German plant physiologist Julius von Sachs' Lehrbach the Botanic that he called Botany for High Schools and Colleges. Bessie left Iowa State in 1884 to become the first Dean of Agriculture at the University of Nebraska. He was also the acting president of the university and Dean of Deans. While in Nebraska, Bessie was chosen as scientist of the State Board of Agriculture and in 1918 was conferred the honor of being inducted into the Nebraska Hall of Fame. He also initiated a tree planting experiment that resulted in the Nebraska National Forest, the first man-made national forest in the world. Charles E. Bessie was the author of numerous articles and publications, including The Essentials of Botany, which he later rewrote with his son, Ernest Bessie, and retitled The Essentials of College Botany. Charles Bessie also actively participated in several professional organizations, including the American Association for Advancement of Science and the Botanical Society of America. Bessie's most important publication, however, was Phylogenetic Taxonomy of Flowering Plants, published in 1915. This last major work of Bessie established the phylogenetic system of organizing flowering plants that taxonomists are still building on today with the use of genetic techniques. And a fitting tribute acknowledging this legacy of Bessie has been made by another great American taxonomist, Cronquist, who aptly remarked, "We are all, or nearly all, Bessians." Bessie worked in many ways to promote science and the study of plants. In addition to his great contributions to taxonomy, Bessie was also part of many scientific societies. He was a member of the American Association for the Advancement of Science and served as its president in 1910. Bessie was also associate editor of the prestigious journals such as the American Naturalist and Science. Bessie will remain best known, however, for his contribution to a detailed plant phylogenetic system. Dear students, with this we have reached our second objective, that is to highlight the Bessie's contribution in developing the phylogenetic system of classification. Bessie's most memorable work in the field of botany was the development of the first explicit phylogenetic classification of flowering plants. In other words, the classification of flowering plants using evolutionary relationship of the different species. In his work, namely Phylogenetic Taxonomy of Flowering Plants, Bessie proposed new evolutionary relationships between plants. Previously, it was thought that the plants that had flowers without petals were the most primitive. Bessie instead suggested the opposite. He believed what is still thought to be true now, that most primitive original flowers had many separate petals and stamens and carpels. As flowering plants evolved, these whorls of flower parts fused together or were reduced or became absent in some species. This indicated that flowers such as ranunculus, or commonly known as buttercup flowers, were the more primitive, while tiny flowers such as those of grasses were more advanced. These ideas led to a big change in principles for plant taxonomy, and they encouraged a new wave of research into plant phylogeny. Bessie asserted that the angiosperms are the most diverse group of land plants and argued that angiosperms are derived from a single ancestral group. He developed a set of 28 rules for distinguishing genetic characteristics or evolutionary trends in plants. Based on these characteristics and trends, he formed a classification system and designed a diagram to represent how the plants were connected to each other and which of these plants were evolutionarily primitive or advanced. This diagram was rather intricate and was nicknamed as Bessie's cactus because the branching, bending shape looks somewhat like a beaver-tail cactus. Dear students, let's now discuss in detail our third objective, to describe Bessie's system of classification in detail. Bessie published his system of classification in his book, The Phylogenetic Taxonomy of Flowering Plants. It focuses on the evolutionary divergence of primitive forms. It is considered by many as a system most likely to form the basis of a modern, comprehensive taxonomy of the plant kingdom. The system is based on various 28 guiding rules or dicta to determine level of being simple or advanced of a group of plants. It counts 15 orders and 146 family. Bessey based his system on the tradition of Dick and Dole, Bentham and Hooker. He was also influenced by Darwin and Wallace. He considered Spermatophyta as having a polyphyletic origin, being composed of 3 different phyla, of which he only treated Anthophyta, that is angiosperms. In that he used the same names for the subclasses of both monocotyledons and dicotyledons. This is contrary to contemporary rules on plant nomenclature that require names to be unique. However, Bessey actually used a qualifying hyphenation and a distinction not always recognized in reference to this scheme. With some modifications, most modern classifications, for example, those of Cronquist, Takhtajan, Stebbins, Dahlgren, and Thorne, follow the Bessey tradition. Now, the outline of Bessey's system of classification. Phylum Angiospermae. First, classes Alternifoliae, synonym Monocotyledoni. Second, classes Appositifoliae, synonym Dicotyledoni. Class first, Alternifoliae, that is Monocotyledoni. Subclass first, Strobelidae. Subclass second, Corlidae. Class second, Appositifoliae, that is Dicotyledoni. Subclass first, Strobelidae. Superorder first, Apopetalae, Polycarpellatae. Superorder second, Sympetalae, Polycarpellatae. Superorder third, Sympetalae, Dicarpellatae. Subclass second, that is Cotyledoni. Superorder first, Apopetalae. Superorder second, Sympetalae. After this, let's deliberate on our fourth objective, that is to discuss the contribution of Arthur Cronquist. Arthur John Cronquist was an American botanist. He is considered as one of the most influential botanists of the 20th century, largely due to his formulation of the Cronquist system of classification. Arthur Cronquist was born on March 19, 1919 in California, but he grew up outside of Portland, Oregon, as well as in Pocatello, Idaho. As a young boy, he was an avid member of the Boy Scouts of America. Through this, he gained an appreciation for the nature. He did his undergraduate work at the southern branch of the University of Idaho, now Idaho State University. During this time, where he studied field botany under Ray J. Davis, who was compiling the flora of Idaho at the time. After receiving his bachelor's degree in 1938 in biology, he went to earn a master's degree in biology at the Utah State University in 1940, working under Bassett McGuire. He began work on his doctorate at the University of Minnesota, earning his PhD in botany in 1944. His dissertation was a revision of the genus Erigeron. From 1946 to 1948, he held a position at the University of Georgia, followed by a 3-year position at Washington State University. He died of heart failure on March 22, 1992, while studying specimens of Mantezelia at the Herbarium of Brigham Young University. At the NYBG, Henry A. Gleason nurtured his interest in floristics, leading to collaboration between the two men that resulted in publications that remain botanical classics to this day. The first was Gleason's New Britain and Brown Illustrated Flora, to which Cronquist contributed the section on the Asteraceae. The second was their Manual of Vascular Plants of Northeastern United States and adjacent Canada, known to botany students as the Green Bible. A third co-authorship with Henry Gleason was the Natural Geography of Plants. He was a proud recipient of many professional awards and honors, which included the Leedy Medal of the Academy of Natural Sciences, Philadelphia, Honorary Vice President of the 12th International Botanical Congress, Leningrad, the Asa Gray Award, and the Medal for Botany, Linnean Society of London. Now, let's talk about our fifth objective, that is, to discuss the development of Cronquist's system of classification. While Cronquist was in his mid-30s, he began to question the usefulness of Adolphe Engler and Karl Pranttl's taxonomic system, laid down in their work Die naturalen Pflanzenfamilien, the natural plant families, which had been the dominant system since the late 19th century. Although Cronquist was originally involved mostly with the family Asteraceae rather than with general systems, he began publishing on the topic in 1957 after much discussion with his peers concerning the challenge of forming a new taxonomic system. His initial publication dealt purely with dicotyledons. At the time he began his work on his general scheme of classification, several others were working with the same goal in mind, including the American botanist Robert F. Thorne, the Dane Rolf Dahlgren, and Armand Takhtajan of the erstwhile USSR. Each of them would go on to produce their own taxonomic schemes, though Cronquist's would prove to be most widely adopted. While working on the project in 1960s, Cronquist came to the close friends with Armand Takhtajan, and both men put all their information at each other's disposal. He made several trips to meet with Takhtajan and other botanists and translated many botanical works from Russian throughout his life. The classification system was developed by Arthur Cronquist in a series of monographs and texts, including The Evolution and Classification of Flowering Plants, 2nd edition, and An Integrated System of Classification of Flowering Plants. Cronquist's system places flowering plants into two broad classes, Magnoliopsida, that is, dicotyledons, and Liliopsida, that is, monocotyledons. Within these classes, related orders are grouped into subclasses. While the scheme was widely used in either the original form or in adapted versions, many botanists now use the angiosperm phylogeny group classification for the orders and families of flowering plants, first developed in 1998. Now let's deliberate about our last objective, that is to describe in detail Cronquist's system of classification. The system of classification as laid out in Cronquist's An Integrated System of Classification of Flowering Plants recognizes 64 orders and 321 families in class Magnoliopsida and 19 orders and 65 families in class Liliopsida. The system would go on to be adopted by several major projects in floristics, including the Jepson Manual, Flora of North America, Flora of China, Flora of Australia, and of course Gleason and Cronquist's Manual of Vascular Plant, which was published in 1991. Magnoliopsida. In this system, the subclass Magnolidae under the class Magnoliopsida, which consists mainly of families of the traditional Ranales, is regarded as the basal complex from which other angiosperms are considered to have been derived. The Haemelidae is considered to consist of a group of wind-pollinated family with reduced, chiefly apipetalous flowers that are often borne in catkins, the traditional Amantiferæ. The families under Caryophyllae have a strong tendency towards free central placentation and have betalains, that is nitrogenous anthocyanins and anthoxanthins in many of them. The Rosidae and Dillenidae, which are morphologically very similar, are regarded to be parallel groups. The Asteridae consist of the higher sympatalous families, which are mostly derived from the Rosidae. Liliopsida. The two classes, Magnoliopsida and Liliopsida under Magnoliophyta, have diverged early in the evolutionary history of the group, and hence they are fairly distinct, and in terms of flowering plant identification, they represent the first level of recognition. In the class Liliopsida, the Elasmatidae chiefly includes the aquatic members, whereas the other subclasses includes those families which typically have large, often petiolate leaves and are usually either arborescent or have flowers crowded into a spadix. The families under Commelinidae are characterized by flower reduction and are mostly wind pollinated. The Lilidae includes the insect pollinated members. Now, the outline of Cronquist's system of classification. Class Magnoliopsida, that's the dicotyledons. First, subclass Magnolidae, mostly basal dicots. First, order Magnoliales, order Laurales, order Piperales, order Aristoteales, order Elisicales, order Nymphaeales, order Ranunculates, order Papaverales. Subclass Haemelidae, order Trochodendrales, order Haemelidales, order Daphnophyllales, order Didymales, order Eucomiales, order Urticales, order Latinerales, order Jugulandales, order Myricales, order Phagiales, order Castanerales. Subclass Caryophyllae, order Caryophyllales, order Polygonales, order Plumbiginales. Subclass Dillenidae, order Dilleniales, order Thiales, order Malvales, order Lecthidiales, order Nepenthes, order Violales, order Salicales, order Caparales, order Battales, order Ericales, order Diponsiales, order Ebenales, order Primales. Subclass Rosidae, order Rosales, order Fabiales, order Proteales, order Podstomales, order Halogales, order Myrtales, order Rhizophorales, order Coronales, order Centellales, order Raphsiales, order Salistrales, order Euphorbiales, order Ramonales, order Lineales, order Polygales, order Sapendales, order Geraniales, order Apiales. Subclass Astridae, order Gentiales, order Solanales, order Lamiales, order Calitricales, order Plantigenales, order Sucrophorales, order Campanales, order Rubilales, order Dipsacales, order Calicérales, order Astrales. Now the class Liliopsida, that's the monocotyledons. Subclass Elismatidae, order Elismatales, order Hydrochaetales, order Nagidales, order Triuridales. Subclass Ericidae, order Ericales, order Cycalantales, order Pandales, order Aeriales. Subclass Communalidae, order Communalales, order Eriocalales, order Rastionales, order Juncales, order Cyperales, order Hydatellales, order Typhales. Subclass Gingiberidae, order Bromeliales, order Zingiberales. Subclass Lilidae, order Liliales, order Orchidales. Dear students, like all other systems of classification, Cronquist's system of classification also has its merits and demerits. First, the merits of Cronquist's system of classification. Cronquist's system of plant classification is completely a phylogenetic classification. Cronquist pursued vast literature from different fields of science into consideration. His system is based on morphological, anatomical, embryological, paleontological, serological, cytological, chemical, as well as ultrastructural evidences. Synoptical keys for each group up to the family level are very much useful. Demerits of Cronquist's system of classification. Cronquist's system of classification at some level has shown too much reliance on single characters like centrifugal stamens, free central placentation. The arrangements of certain families in Liliales has been strongly criticized, particularly the submergence of Amaryllidaceae into Liliaceae. Dear students, let's conclude here. Systematics aims at developing classifications based on different criteria, and often a distinct methodology is employed for the analysis of data, which in turn gives rise to different systems of classification. Broadly speaking, There are three main types of classification systems, namely artificial, natural, and phylogenetic systems of classification. Phylogenetic systems of classification are based on the evolutionary descent of a group of organisms, the relationship depicted either through a phylogram or a cladogram. Most of the propounders of these systems of classification have emphasized on certain pre-selected characters which are considered to be phylogenetic importance. It is towards the development of this system of classification that Bessey and Cronquist have widely contributed. Bessey published his system of classification in his book The Phylogenetic Taxonomy of Flowering Plants. It focuses on the evolutionary divergence of primitive forms. It is considered by many as the system most likely to form the basis of a modern, comprehensive taxonomy of the plant kingdom. The system is based on various 28 guiding rules or dicta to determine the level of being simple or advanced of a group of plants. It counts 15 orders and 146 families. The Cronquist system of classification was developed by Arthur Cronquist in a series of monographs and texts, including The Evolution and Classification of Flowering Plants, 2nd edition, and An Integrated System of Classification of Flowering Plants. Cronquist's system places flowering plants into two broad classes, Magnoliopsida, that is dicotyledons, and Liliopsida, that is monocotyledons. Within these classes, related orders are grouped into subclasses. The system of classification comprises of 64 orders and 321 families in class Magnoliopsida and 19 orders and 65 families in class Liliopsida. The system has been adopted by several major projects in floristics like Jepson Flora, Flora of North America, Flora of China, Flora of Australia, etc. Dear students, this brings us to the end of this lecture on major contributions of Bessey and Cronquist to plant systematics. Hope you have enjoyed this lecture. Have a nice day.